He's going to push the date back more. So it's all good. Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah. So starting this show off on a very fucking positive note, absolutely. And one of our favorite people, I think, not only like in the live chat as one of our favorite guests we've had in the past, and one of my favorite people on Instagram and cannabis in terms of their snappity snap pictures of what they've been growing. Yeemuffukkenhaw, how you doing, brother?
Cheers, man. I'm doing great. I'm excited to be hanging out with you guys. Really looking forward to kicking it for sure.
Dude, we're stoked as fuck to have you back. As soon as I got straight up, I'm not as outgoing as bees when it comes to booking guests. Like, I'm shy. If I don't know you, I just have a problem of reaching out. So when he was had to do his thing for a bit there, I was like, you know what, fucking, you're like one of the very first people I reached out to. It's like, fucking, let's fucking bring you back. It's been a long time. It was actually like last summer, wasn't it? Last time we had you back on, I think.
I think so. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Back when Dave Rick flared you.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot has happened since then now. So
a lot.
We got some
happened.
new toys,
new faces, and everything.
Oh, it's crazy.
Yeah, I'm super happy. When you reached out, I think my response was, "Fuck yeah, man!" You don't ever be shy reaching out to me. You may not know me very well, but fuck, I watch y'all so much. I feel like I know you quite well. So we're homies.
Awesome though, man. Like, thank you for that support. And awesome, but also just thanks for being such a rad fucking dude.
Yeah, man.
I don't know if Fluff and I are thinking exactly the same thing, but we were talking about this in the pre-show. You've got a pretty kick-ass new fucking greenhouse. You want to talk about that one?
Dude, I could talk about my greenhouse all day long. Everybody that I run with, that's all they hear about. So yeah, my wife let me get a greenhouse for my 40th birthday. It's one of my only midlife crisis purchases ever. So she's cool enough to let me go ahead and get one. So I put it out back in an area that it used to be a tennis court, and it was like a clay-based tennis court. And it's just been overgrown for years, and we just kind of mow it, like another part of the lawn.
Yeah.
So it was real flat, real even, great space. There's fencing, kind of around it. And so yeah, we put it there. It's 10 foot wide, 20 feet long, 7 feet in the center. It's that, like, I guess they call it Quonset hut shape, where it's just like arches from one end to the other with the flat face and rear end. They're both flat. And
yeah,
it's
almost hoop house style.
Yeah. That's what I'm looking for. Yep. And it's built from the double walled, cellular polycarbonate panels that, dude, they can take a hailstorm, and it's rated for like 70-mile-an-hour winds. Yeah, this thing's gonna be here for a long time. I'm super jacked to have it. I go up there every day. It's like a little slice of heaven.
Are you gonna try to do some year round in this?
Yeah, I'm gonna try a little bit. And so the thing is, this is all gonna be a learning experience for me. I'll be straight up with you. I don't dick about keeping a greenhouse, about the challenges with, and I'm learning a lot, man. When the sun's out, it's going to get hot quick. You know what I mean? But as far as winter goes and doing a year round, hard to say. I think I'll probably have to do some tricks for overnight temperatures is when we get into the winter time, because there's no real R value. I think it'll hit ambient temperature. Once we're dark for a couple hours, I don't think that thing will hold heat for very long. So, getting on YouTube and stuff, I think I can probably rig up a smaller area inside of the greenhouse and try to heat that rather than try to heat the whole entire greenhouse. You know what I mean? Just to overwinter a few things. So the good news is, when they sent me all my material, the first shipment that they sent, they fucking wrecked the freight. And so there was a good amount of those panels that the corners were all jammed in, and just chunks taken out of them. So 90% of it's usable, but there's a good part of it that was trash. So they replaced it. Well, when they replaced it with the wrong model of polycarbonate panels. And so then I got another replacement for the ones that fit. So I've got about $800 worth of polycarbonate sitting out there in the back also that I can rig up another small something, you know what I mean, inside and heat that. So I'm going to go with that method, I think, in the wintertime. It'll be a learning experience, but I'm going to try it.
God damn, I'm already trying to figure out how to MacGyver some shit together for you, and I haven't even seen it yet. Like, I
Yeah.
got a greenhouse. I'm gonna live vicariously through you if you don't mind.
Yeah,
Dude, for
man,
sure.
are you gonna run some electricity up to that?
If by running a 100-foot long extension cord from my gazebo out to there means running electricity, then yes, I am. But I'm not going to do anything more than that.
Perfect. No, that I was just wondering, if you were gonna do some like long term. I've heard some people have good luck with like those pellet stoves. Those pellet stoves are like fairly efficient. So they were just running one of them bastards in there.
I've got a smoker. I could probably. Ooh, hey, bro. Just put a brisket on every night in the wintertime.
Hey, I failed to see the problem there, man.
So are the ends open on this?
No, they're solid walls. And there's a door that's probably about, I don't know, 5.5 feet tall. And then there's a window above it. So you open both of those together. You have about a 7-foot entrance to get in.
Okay, and you said the peak is about 7 feet, and
yes,
it kind of it goes up and together.
Yep.
The panels would go up like that and over to the top.
Right on, like Fluff said, like the hoop house looking. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And what about airflow, air circulation? Mm-hmm. Like air coming in, going through, and going out again. I think that's probably quite important.
Yeah, for sure. So, like again, learning experience here, and I put stuff out. I don't know, maybe 6 weeks ago for the first time in there, and airflow is huge. And if the sun is out, I'm telling you, it'll get 100 degrees in there quick. If it's 55 ambient temperature, but the sun's out, it'll be 100 in that greenhouse. And so literally, in the morning when I get up, well, it's not when I get up, but before, I start my other duties for the day, the last thing I do is make sure that windows and doors are actually open, and they have little hooks on them so they stay open or whatever. And we're at the weather now where I think that my game plan is just going to be get up there every morning and open them. And then, a little bit before sunset, I go out and I close everything up. And so for the night, they're sealed in. There's no real airflow at night. But during the day we're wide open.
I don't know if they're very expensive, but I've heard of systems that, it's all actually, it would be like a vent, but the vent is powered by solar energy. Yeah, and then it's designed with a thermostat so that if the greenhouse gets too warm, that the vent will just automatically open up. That would be cool.
Oh, well, they have, and this is one of those things where, God, if I knew then what I know now, they have windows that come with that greenhouse that the like hydraulic thing in there that pushes it open. It's like an oil that it's calibrated to the temperature. So there's no power, no nothing, but they're still automatically will open and close. So if it gets warm enough and that oil expands, it'll push your windows open on the roof. And then as it gets cold, it sucks them back down and seals them. And they're literally like $100 a piece. They're not bad at all. It's just, I is one of the, I thought, that's an add-on. I'll just do this or just do that. And looking back, it's like, holy smokes, that'll be an addition for
owning it.
Yeah. We're adding
definitely.
that soon. That'll come. Yeah, for sure.
And quite frankly, although it does require a major commitment, but the way your greenhouse is designed, it could be conducive to if you decided to do anything in the way of light deprivation. It's it's something you can work with. That design, that hoop house design, something you can just
pull a tarp. Yeah,
like a tarp. You can just pull.
Yeah.
Oh fuck! Well, I didn't break it.
Ooh.
We got bong water everywhere, but I didn't break it. So it's all good. Oh, wait a minute. My phone.
Well, nice snatch.
It could have ended up in the fish pond. So I guess it's
You know, when
Yeah,
so,
that's good.
so what all do you plan on putting in there?
Yeah, a lot of the garden vegetables. I started way too many seeds way too early this winter in my house with a storage shelf with some shop lights rigged up underneath of them, and it was like 1st of February, and I was like, yeah, now sounds like a good time to start tomatoes, you know, and they're like 4 feet long. But anyway, yeah, I mainly tomatoes, peppers, a lot of peppers. I've got about 8 different varieties of chilies, a bunch of flowers for the wife, squash, you name it, just all the veggie starts. I'll be planning out we have a in-ground garden. It's been here for probably 60 years, and it's 1,800 square feet. So we'll fill that up. And then that tennis court that I referred to that I built the greenhouse in, I'm converting that whole area into a garden in and of itself. So last year I put a couple raised beds in. This year I just couldn't bring myself to buy any lumber or materials for raised beds. So I got a broad fork and I started just chunking that clay up and just a few bags of compost at a time, and I've been amending the ground there. And so I've got a few beds in, just for veggies and whatnot. And then the rest of it, I think I'm just going to broad fork up, and I've got about a shoebox worth of sunflower seeds that I gathered from flowers we grew last year. And I'm just going to do like a meadow to fill the space. And I've got a landscaper friend that when I give him the call, he's going to bring me just truckloads of wood chips. We'll mulch the whole thing up and just let it start doing its thing. And my vision for that area is to have some fruit trees. You know, we've got blackberries, blueberries, and elderberries up there now. Like to add trees and, different medicinal herbs and some edible perennials, just kind of turn that space into, little area like that. So we're fortunate to have the room, and that's just kind of what I want to do with it.
Dude, that's
Very nice.
It sounds like absolute heaven, in my opinion.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Have you considered dabbling with those the Hugo? What are they called? Hugo mounds?
Yeah, I absolutely have. Yeah, I'll just leave it at that. I have. I haven't built any yet, but as far as when I'm broad forking, I was doing that earlier. Late winter. Breaking that up. The whole time I'm thinking I need to get, because right behind this property I'm talking about, there's acres of wood. So there's a lot of resources around. I definitely have an opportunity to get that. The raised beds that I did last year, though, I did the kind of the Hugo style, filling. I started with the larger logs and looked for the rotten mushroomy shit. You know what I mean? So I did do a kind of a Hugo inspired, couple raised beds.
Nice.
Yeah, I know it wouldn't be like a full Hugo style, because it kind of like revolves around using that mound, but a Hugo style bed, I've definitely got plans to make a couple myself around the yard, because for one, it's just easy, you get to use all your yard waste. I got plenty of that fucking laying around. So, and I'm about to take out some trees. So, I've got all the filler I need to make these, Hugo beds. And it seems like the way to go, man. I've seen so many people use them. They're amazing.
Yeah, totally agree. Man, isn't it crazy when you talk about like just the mindset for like a gardener with what a resource a tree is, or leaves are, or grass clippings are. And it's hilarious because, I mean, just a couple years ago, as much as I like the garden, I've grown the larger garden out here, a long time, but I, would run the rototiller, we would spread triple 20 on it. And I had a different mindset now. And it's just, it's just crazy. When somebody's like, oh yeah, I'm taking down a tree, so I'm going to build some beds out of it. I'm like, fuck yeah. Where a couple years ago, it's like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, dude, you can't just throw a tree inside your fucking garden bed. That's not how that works.
You mean you're not going to pay somebody $1,000 to cut it down and take it away from you?
Right. Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. I was like, man, I was talking with my wife and I'm like, man, we should just buy a chipper, a chipper big enough to do like a fucking 4-inch log or something. That's going to take care of almost every bit of tree I do at the house. And if I was to pay one fucking tree removal, I've bought like 3 of those goddamn chippers. That's
right. And you're building soil the whole time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, building soil, mulching the fucking yard. I mean, I got all kinds of shit I can use mulch for,
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
That shit's fucking expensive tree work. I can tell you that for a fact. That's one thing I'm fortunate to is I got access to basically unlimited supply of wood chips. So I don't have the ability to do in ground or like raised beds, but I can do like movable sip type containers. So we've gone out and grabbed like Sterlite totes that we're using, and I'll throw a couple inches of chips right in the bottom of that, and then throw some in there, mix them up with my peat, cocoa, other amendments that I've got in there, get a little bit of that fungals going on, and you can use them for mulches and shit like that. It's
when you get someplace you're going to be at long term, just the wood chips after wood chips after wood chips seem to be the answer anyway. You know what I mean? It's like, all right, they're going to rot away, but when they rot away, they're gold, so
yeah,
that's a whole nother thing. I used to be like, man, fuck these wood chips by my house. I want rock gravel. You know what I mean? I don't want this mulch to decay, and it's everything. I just look at everything differently.
Yeah, it's funny. There's a place in Vernon where we're working. That's the place in the area where you go to dump your wood chips. And the guy's got his big excavator parked out there, and all he does is like any kind of wood waste, and they'll get like chicken compost and shit like that sometimes too, get dumped there. He just mixes it up, and after about 2 years, he figures it's ready for sale. And he was telling me that you tree guys, man, this is all this that you're seeing right here is because of you. If you want like a truckload or whatever, feel free to like help yourselves. I'm just like, I live 4 hours away from here. And this is just as I'm kind of going through the divorce and going from having to pick up to this little soccer mom Chevy Equinox car, right? It's like, damn, that's so tempting. But one day when we go back there with our big boom trucks and stuff, I do want to get at least a few 5-gallon buckets out of that, come back and throw that to some of my used beds. It's like, why not, man? That's actually all we can contribute to that. So that'd be cool.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt.
So what are you smoking on tonight?
Man, I am halfway through a joint of Scarlet Begonias right now. I did just finish up some Stranger Danger. My last run of that, I let that one go because I just played around, and made some F2. So the one girl that I was hanging on to, I grew out, and that's that for that one. So I just had that, but now I'm onto some Scarlet Begonias, and I got a little bit of Moon Tower. I got like 4 phenos of Moon Tower too. I'm gonna smoke on while we're hanging out tonight. Just try everything.
Fuck, that sounds badass. The Moon Tower, that's the Bubba Kush to Arise?
That's Bubba Kush and Arise, yeah. And dude, I really enjoy it, and it's just different. It's so different from Rasta Jeff, from like what I'm used to, and it's nice. Chocolatey in some, and one of them's like, I don't know, old dude breath. I'm not so sure it's like that pleasant of a smell, but it's just hot dankness. And then there's another one. Actually, I don't know if you guys saw. I put something in the Discord. I was stoked to see. I was messing around looking at Seeds Here Now, and it was my photo of the Moon Tower on Seeds Here Now. I was like, oh, sweet.
Huh?
But that pheno, that one was my number 7. It was the biggest yielder, and it's my favorite smoke. It smells the best of all of them, and that's like this is probably the first time in a very long time that I've had one plant that's like biggest yield, smells the best, looks the best, tastes the best, smokes the best. You know what I mean? It's just like yes, yes, yes. You know, the whole way through. It's
ticked all those boxes.
This is a good one. Yeah. So, you know, old Rasta Jeff knocked another one out of the park. That's good. That's a good pack. If you guys get opportunity, think about that one. That's good.
The one from him that I'm digging on right now is the Golden Goat, which old hat to a lot of people, but in my garden, in the garden of a lot of us, our crew, it is new to us. And man, that's turning heads and just kicking ass, take names type shit. Like I remember there's like last Friday or the Friday before, there's like 3 of us in one day that were just fucking raving about it. Like, yeah, that's I figure I've grown about 4, 5, 6 strains of his by now, and like all of them are good. And it just seems like they progressively be getting better as as you delve into them. So it's just like, fuck, what else is in there? Looking forward to more.
Man, agreed. I've got a pheno that I've run a couple times now. I kept of the cream. Oh man, it's just one of those things where you just start seeing like how much cannabis has to offer. You know what I mean? Like you think you're like, okay, you know, I've got this lemon Jeffrey that I raved about the last time I got a chance to hang out with you guys on here. I still have that. I love it. You know, it's still one of my favorites, but it's like you keep coming across one, you know, plants that are as impressive and as beautiful and as flavorful as the last, but in a totally different direction. You know what I mean? And it's just that, yeah, that's one of the best parts.
Yeah.
What?
Go ahead, Rick.
I'm sorry. I was just going to ask what you recommend for flowering time for that lemon Jeffrey, Yuma.
I like it, you know, 70 at the lowest, and you know I've taken it the one that I'm keeping. I've taken it 11 weeks. I've gone 77 with it, and usually that's in a little bit, if I have it in a little bit larger container, because most of the stuff I grow, like the majority of the plants, I'm running in like 1 gallons. I've got a couple 3s, but mostly small stuff. But if I take that Lemon Jeffrey, a large one, I don't hate it at 11 weeks. I feel like it gets a little coconutty when it goes long.
Really?
Like yeah.
Oh, wow.
At least the one
Wow.
the one I do. How's yours looking, man? I wrote a note to myself to ask you to tell me about your room of Lemon Jeffrey, because I honestly, dude, I love Lemon Jeffrey so much.
I am so I'm so excited. Actually it's coming down on Thursday, and
yes.
I put in 2 layers of trellis, and quite frankly I should have put in 3. They grew up through the 2 trellises, and now they're all just flopping over. And I almost need a crane to get in there and lift them all up to do my defoliating. It's a nice problem. I'm
That sounds.
I'm not worried about like a bad area for airflow and that kind of thing. But I was in the it's funny. I was actually, when I was visiting you, Cariboo, about a month or so ago, and we were looking in your tent, and at one point we were doing stem rubs, and
hold up.
Were you guys doing that
we were having a circle stem rub. That didn't sound quite right, did it?
That's what I thought I heard.
But anyway, I'm just gonna have to say it again. I was rubbing a stem, and then he was rubbing the Cariboo's. He was rubbing the same stem. It was getting a little kinky, but rubbing the same stem.
You just see smiles on my face, though, right?
So anyways,
were you rubbing towards the base, or were you rubbing towards the tip?
Oh, geez. Okay. Too much information. Too much information. But
man.
anyway, suddenly I got this scent, this aroma, and I couldn't. My eyes lit up, and I couldn't put my finger on it. And then Cariboo said, "Eucalyptus." And I said, yes, eucalyptus just fucking jumped right out at me. Now, I don't know exactly which strain you were referring to, but when I was working the other day in my Orangegasm area, I came across that same scent. It was just so beautiful, so amazing.
That might have been in, because there's 2 phenos that I gave you. I recall that. The second one to me was very, very orangey, like when you rip open an orange and you get that zesty kind of smell, and that taste was there. That first one, I don't recall ever getting a real solid, yeah, this is what that smells like kind of thing. So it could have been that.
Yeah, it was something, I can't remember, but it was just so funny because I'm not good at these scents and tastes and flavors and so on, but I knew there was something there. And when you said eucalyptus, I went, fuck, that's exactly, what do you mean? Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
Yeah, it almost has that mentholy, but not quite type of sensation.
That's interesting that you said that. I've never fucking seen that before until somebody had sent me lobsters. I believe it was like strawberry starburst rosin, like flower rosin that had been pressed, and that shit was like, I was like, that was fucking menthol, but it wasn't like menthol. There was this weird, and that's what it is. It's fucking eucalyptus. I was like, holy shit! Like the second you said it, I was like, that's where I've fucking seen that. It's like, oh, that's fucking crazy.
Having trouble pronouncing it, let alone. Okay, cheers to chat, by the way, and. I just got to say that, Spartan, are you just showing off because you know how to type Southern Vermont grower in hieroglyphics there? What's going on? Oh, Wheatist is doing it as well. Okay, fine.
I think there's some copy and paste shit everybody does. Don't worry about it, Rick.
I did a stem rub today on my testers, and it's the first time I've done it since I grew them. And
you rubbed Rascajet stem?
Yeah, day 43, but man, I was real impressed with the smell. I like not knowing what I'm growing because then I don't have judgment on the smells and what I'm looking for and stuff like that. But I'm getting on day 43, I'm getting a real strong mixed fruit mixed with stinky feet. It smells phenomenal. It smells phenomenal, though.
Right on.
That's awesome. I wonder if that's.
Go ahead.
I wonder, Johnny, if I'm just curious if that's got as far as the pollen donor. Are you running the fem testers?
No, I don't know. I got regs. I had 10 out of the. Oh. I popped 10, and 6 of them were females, 4 were males.
Okay.
I have no idea what I'm running, and I really don't want to know till I'm done. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I took cuts already off the ones that I really, really like. So I'm anxious to see what it is when it's done and said.
For sure. The reason I was going to say the fems, what was the S1? He just did the afterglow. So there's a pollen donor that he's using, right? That's that afterglow. That's a clementine to a rise cross, I believe. Man, that one's got me kind of really interested.
And 311 had mentioned, because he got a whiff of that too. He had mentioned that he thought it had a little hint of a rise to it.
Mm.
So
gotta love it, man. I'm growing another set of testers.
Go ahead.
Sorry, Uncle Rick. You go ahead, man.
No, I'm always interrupting. I'm sorry. Quickly though, Johnny, I noticed 311 was over there the other yesterday with the rototiller, and you got that corner all chewed up. It looks good. Looks good, man.
Yeah, we're getting one of them hoses that it wraps around, and it fucking does it on its own. It's on the timer and that. And then I'm gonna
Nice.
end up putting in some wood chips. I'm gonna try to get it looking real nice over there, and I'm gonna just build up my soil over there. You know what I mean? I'm gonna mend everything and just keep dumping and keep dumping and keep dumping, and it looks like a very, very fertile ground without what I'm adding to it. So I'm very pleased.
Cool.
If you ever leave, you better take that with you in a truck. Tell them I made you a swimming pool right there.
Right?
Yeah, man. Dude, I love you. I don't know. I love watching you grow, dude. Last year when you went out, like I think I said it before, I was like, dude, fucked up, but you pulled off such a crazy job, man. And then look what you did this year. What did you put out? Was that April?
April 1st, I put out Blushberry.
Wait, hold on now.
It's
Did
not
he
like he
really
lives in
put it out?
Georgia.
It spent half of April under a bucket.
Under a bucket, and it snowed for 3 weeks straight when I put her out there. So Rosin, man, the other day said, hey, I got a pheno name for that one. We're gonna call it Buckethead. So that Blushberry's pheno is Buckethead.
Nice.
She's looking gorgeous now, though. She really is. I everybody had me doubting myself there for a minute because everything that everybody was saying, she looked like she was about to die. And I almost went out there a couple times and pulled her, but I was like, no, she'll make it. She'll pull through.
Man. I was on Instagram on the shitter at least once or twice going, she's dead, she gone. Looking at you.
I thought for sure, right? There was even one day he's like, I'm cutting it down.
Growing fun for me. You know what I mean? That's what I like to do. I like to do what people find out is almost impossible to do. And I just enjoy it.
Hell yeah.
Hell, I just think you got the motherfucker so cold that instead of growing, it just stops. So you actually missed it fucking going into flower. And so somehow or another, you don't even have a fucking re-veg on that thing. I can't even believe that shit. That was the one thing I was like, you were going to have one fucked up monster crap, like just fucked up plant when it comes out.
He put that shit in cryo sleep.
Right?
Yeah.
I thought for sure. There was a couple mornings I went out there and I'm like, she ain't gonna fucking make it through the day, and she did though. So,
well, shit, I think 311 saved that plant, didn't he? You were gonna cut it down the fucking next day, and he said, "I give it a second."
Yeah.
He gave it one more day, and that fucker popped back up.
Well, I like to beat up the plants a little bit, stress them as much as I can, put them out there and put them what I can put them through, but I'll lose interest on them quick. I'll if I don't think it's going to make it, I'll pull it. But that right there just shows me just be a little bit more patient. You know what I mean? Be patient and let the plant, if it's going to die, it's going to die. There's nothing I can really do about it besides trying to help it to keep it from doing it.
Yeah.
Sounds like Rick with his fish.
I was going to ask you, I missed the beginning of you doing the fish, but did you put them in the same temperature of water that they were in, or did you put them in really cold water?
Okay, so I guess I have to remind you that when I went to get these fish, I said, I want two things. They got to be cheap and they got to be tough. So I got the tough, cheap ones, and I've raised them to be tough. So to answer your question, actually, I don't know. I was a little concerned because there was an ice cube in my fish pond, and it was one big block of ice, and finally that melted, and I thought, okay, well, so then I filled it up. So that water would have been I don't know what temperature that water, and that was yesterday. So it had overnight to, no, it wouldn't have warmed up overnight, would it? Gee, I don't know how to answer your question.
Okay, you only have the one fish in there?
So far, yeah, the other three got away on me. I'm going to have to go fishing for them tomorrow. When I scooped the first one, and then the other three went, fuck you. And then went right to the bottom, and
You
I may
should
never
maybe
see them
you should maybe wait on that and just see how the first one's doing tomorrow before you just commit to chucking them bitches right in.
Yeah,
Well,
I agree.
and-
Border on like animal abuse going on here. Like you might just.
Goddess, like I didn't even think about it until you mentioned it now. So now I'm probably not going to sleep tonight. Okay, thank you. Excuse me, I just want to
You
go
think
see
Ric
if they're.
Flair
He's gonna go
They got the
check it
episode
right
pulled
now.
down.
I gotta go see. I'm sorry, I gotta go see if he's still alive.
I think of how I would feel if I probably were to dip my balls in that water that Rick friggin' put his fish in there. And then he threw his entire fish in that fucking ice cold water. So that's fuck. A polar bear switch for real, I guess.
I did see him dump like a bucket of water, I think, in there. So I thought maybe he had like dumped like some hot water to maybe warm it up a little bit. Oh
Cheap
no.
and tough.
Oh, I've been muted for the last 2 minutes, losing my shit. That was hilarious.
Okay.
Oh my
So, well, let me put it this way: he's not belly up. Okay, he's not floating on the water.
Is he only sideways?
He's not even sideways. He's down at the bottom, not moving much.
Yeah.
Not
If
moving.
it's cold, he won't move as much, but he may still survive because I know somebody that keeps fish in their pond all winter and they just kind of stay at the bottom.
Yeah, although
But
now
you
that
don't go
I
from
do feel a little.
old man 75-degree water to fucking freezing.
No, I know.
Yeah, no, I am feeling a little bit guilty now.
Well, did you at least feed him before you chucked him in the fucking ice water?
And here's the thing: the first one I scooped, he was my biggest one. He was the one that I suppose I've grown most fond of, and the one that I
like,
didn't.
fuck you, buddy, get moving.
No, it's gonna be more than 39 cents to replace him. I can see that.
I'm sure he'll be fine. I didn't mean to freak you out.
Rick's gonna friggin' going upping himself to the $50 fish. Replace that one.
Imagine those fish knowing that one was the one you were most fond of.
Oh, I wouldn't tell the
That
other
was the one he liked. Look what he did to him.
Yeah, they're scared.
It was the same with my you don't want to show favoritism. It was the same with my dogs. I got one dog. I got Bella on a Monday, and she was whining so much by Wednesday. I got Lucy on Thursday, and I had because I got Bella first. I was more attached to her, but I would never tell that to Lucy. I keep that to myself and never try
Are they
to show
both right there
favoritism.
right now listening to you?
Yeah.
You know what? I understand what you're saying because when I got Shade, he's so special that like I don't want to say that either, but there's something about him, and I do feel bad because I know I pay more attention to him than my other cat.
You know what's worse is I feed them they always have their dry food in front of them, but I also give them wet food, and there are those little Caesars. They come in a square container. So having two, like if you just have one dog and you want to give them some wet food, you just kind of get a scoop and you go here. But in order with trying to achieve a sense of fairness, when I take that container of Caesar dog food and I have to cut it in, they get half of it in the morning and half in the evening, but each one gets half of the half. So when I'm cutting the halves, I have to make sure that each one is fair, like each one is equal. And I'll guarantee you that every fucking, and it's like a ritual. OCD, I guess so. It's like a ritual. I got to cut in a quarter, then I cut that in a half, and then I put it in each bowl. One bowl is brown and the other one is green, and they must go to the proper dog. You can't be serving them, in different plates. And then I take each piece and I cut it 4 ways in each bowl. And then at the end, I look at them and I go, ah, shit, that one's got more than that one. So I have to cut some off that, put it over there.
Oh my God.
Yes, OC,
Ah.
very much so. Yes.
Ah.
And then the fish are listening to this going like, what? The dogs not get food? And like equal amounts of food? Like,
Can the fish hear underwater?
well, it's
Yeah.
always to scare them away when you got the noisy kids screaming around and shit like that. You tell them, shut up, you'll scare the fish away, right? That's not a myth. My parents wouldn't have lied to me.
Welcome, chat. Welcome. Great to see everybody. And I want to say thank you for coming. And also want to do another shout out to our Patreon supporters. And starting off with Crazy Pop Mom, Stony Rockefeller, Uncle Rick, Raider Dank Vader, Hypathetical Genetics, BC Stoner Mom, Sticky Icky Cookie, OP7420. We've got Lobster Bush Bro, Papa Z, G-Bay Genetics, Colton Bridge, Astro Charlie, Eric Taylor, 420 Green Goddess, Tara Love 420, Salt Nelson Farm, Ziggy Gardens, and Hoobie Grows Doobies. Thank you all so much. I just, as I was reading that list there, I was,
because they're awesome motherfuckers.
absolutely.
Thanks for everything.
And shout out to I saw Bees in chat earlier. Shout out to you, Bees. I'm sure the trip to now you're a Michiganigan or whatever they call those fuckers, Michigandans. And yeah, so while it's on my mind, one more thing, please, and then it's back to you, Yima. So I'm becoming a really big fan of Eagle Gardens. It's just I don't know, it's just a fun place to hang out, and I doing RSO, I really find it really improves my sleeping patterns. I'm not saying I it's perfect, but now if I wake up in the middle of the night, I'll just have Eagle on, and then sometimes I can close my eyes and listen to Eagle, and then there's Stony and SoCal and all these people, and it's like I've met all these people before, and I don't know, it's just kind of cool. I can close my eyes and I can hear these in the background. Like at one point I say, get the fuck out of my bedroom, but on the other hand, it's, hey guys, you're keeping me company. Anyway, at the end of Eagle's show, he does a shout out to, well, I guess just about every person that's ever touched his life in the cannabis thing. And his shout outs go on sometimes in excess of 20 minutes. And he is reading off names as fast as he can. And I find myself listening. And I'll listen. And in most cases, he reads out the names in the same pattern. And I know the first, well, let me think. Actually, the last name, I believe, is Wheatest. And so on. When I hear one name, then I hear and I'm, waiting to listen to all these names. And then at one point I'm questioning myself, like, Rick, like, get a fucking life, man. Like, the show is over. He's doing the shout outs, like, move on. And, but then suddenly I came to the realization that as I'm listening to these names, I'm listening to the names that somewhere along the line in the last very little while, barely over a year, that I have made a connection with so many of these people. And every time I hear him say that name, I don't know, it just gives me a warm, fuzzy feeling. There, I said it.
So you're laying there in your underwear listening to Eagle talk.
Doing my stem rub, yeah.
Okay. I'm, like how Nightmare on Elm Street, you can't go to sleep because Freddy might come and kill you. I'm afraid of what Rick just showed me. I'm afraid to close my eyes because of that place.
You gotta live dangerous, buddy.
Sounds like a hell of a time, anyways.
The weedest, if you're out there, Rick would love to rub your stem.
Yeah, and
Yeah, man.
he thinks
Am I
about you
wrong?
while he's laying in bed at night in his underwear. Just think about that, Weedus. We're just saying.
Oh God. Okay.
You think about it, he was
Obviously.
just going on about his OCD, right? So he'll probably like rub it really well for you.
Evenly.
I don't know
Yeah,
how
he
you
is.
take a heart-filled emotional statement like I just made and just turn it into something ugly. I just don't.
That's what we
understand.
fucking do around here.
Shit to be honest, it's what we do best.
It's what we do.
Isn't that like if you thought we liked you, you know, that's how you know we don't. One of those types of things.
That's hilarious. Hey Rick, though, for real, I, as a watcher of YouTube as well, man, I do. I mean, you do need to get a life, but I really appreciate the way that you're into the culture, man, and I could just tell, you know what I mean, like you and with the Let's Be Buds channel with Green Goddess, you know what I mean. It's you guys have this show, and then that it's when you can't get enough of the community and the culture and the people who have like these shared values. I respect that, dude. So yeah, I mean, I think it's weird that you were rubbing your stem, but anyway, your disposition on the whole thing is I feel you on that.
Well, I thank you for that, Yeemuff. I can't tell you how much I have gotten back from this community ever since Cariboo. You introduced me to cannabis and this whole community, and it's been life-changing for me, quite frankly. And there's more to come, but right now I just want to give back a tiny fraction of what I've gotten from each and every one of you.
Big respect.
Hey, Uncle Rick. So what I'm getting from this so far is that it was very heartfelt, warming to you, but it was heartfelt, warming to everybody else besides the stem rub.
Okay, I think we've pretty much milked this fucking stem rub thing.
No, the consensus is definitely that it's weird that you and fucking Cariboo were stem rubbing together. Still weird. I mean, that's still there.
Hey, we'll be talking about that in September. Are you kidding me, Uncle Rick?
I think there's some meme generators that need to get fucking rocked on.
So Uncle Rick, I think you switched gears though. I did want to. You talked about the eucalyptus coming off the orange gasm. I'm obsessed with lemon Jeffrey, and I still want to hear what do you get in there turquoise? And then did you grow those from seed or were they clones?
I actually Cariboo grew them from seed, and then I got the clones. Then I cloned them, and so these are from the clones. Yeah.
So you have more than one pheno in there?
I have one pheno of the lemon Jeffrey and two of the orange gasm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I haven't. I really. It was up until a couple of days ago when I noticed that that eucalyptus scent coming from the orange gasm, and quite frankly, up until then, I was searching for that scent and searching for a scent and trying to put my my finger on it, what I was smelling. And like I said, I'm not too good at that, but I got the impression maybe sour. There was a sour smell coming off it. That's really all I could nail down.
Okay.
but they're big. They're big, beautiful, hard, solid nugs. Really big.
Awesome.
I feel like the lemon Jeffrey kind of has that lemon cleaner-ish smell to it.
Okay.
As it's growing, and then as it cures out, kind of goes to more of that like Gatorade juice crystals that out. Does a bit of that because there's like there's I remember growing it and then smoking it, and you're like, yeah, that was good. And then there's when you kind of forget about that jar in the back corner for a bit. And,
This is a lemon Jeffrey joint right here.
Like, yeah, it was really cool.
Yeah, where it smooths out after that time in the jar.
That the pheno from seed, I got my last clone with it. I'm about to finish with that one for a little bit, but I pollinated it with one of my phenos of a machine when I was running those. I just decided to make some F2s, throw a bunch of other shit in there, and I was thinking some kind of lemon fuel cleaner kind of fucking thing could be really cool, because that lemon Jeffrey, the first time I smoked it, or I think it was actually the second time. First grow wasn't a very good grow, right? Second time, let it go proper, cure it, and all that shit. And my ears were fucking ringing. Like we did that, I think it was just as show was kicking off, and for like a half hour, my ears just like, I was just like, holy fuck, this is good. So, you're freaking smoke another joint or another dab, whatever it was. I was doing that because this is awesome. You got to keep this going.
Yeah.
This right here is a lemon Jeffrey joint I'm getting ready to smoke. And the pheno that we got, that we kept, you get that lemon pledge cleaner smell. But like you were saying, once it's in the jar and good and cured, I get more of like I still get that lemony fresh, but it's not that pledge chemical taste, but it's more of a gas with that lemon.
Yeah. The one I keep is that orange hand cleaner with like the pumice in it.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
It's straight that, and then like I said earlier, if it goes a little longer in like a big container or something, it's just got a little bit of like, I don't know, coconut oil or something like that with it. It's oh my god, dude, the terps last forever on that too. Talk about leaving it in a jar. I mean, it's another order of magnitude more potent to the nose than anything else I have.
You're fucking stranger dangers like that, dude. Fucking that stuff is just fucking stupid. Like, it's like acrid when you fucking open this shit. It's it's got that lemon Jeffrey, you can fucking smell that shit there in the background, but then it's got like that, I don't know what the fuck that is, but I think we've discussed, it was almost like a A1 sauce like type smell. Fucking weird with those lemons. But yeah, dude, that's like you said, it's like the longer it sits in the jar and that you don't open it, like the more you almost have to think twice about really just diving in there to smell it, because man, that shit'll just punch you right in the damn nose.
Yeah, it's got like a burn to it. This Stranger Danger that I just finished up, I actually grew it in that one of those sip containers in the living soil, which we can get into those. Man, I wouldn't mind talking about those a little bit, because that's just I mean, there's levels to this thing, and right, that's been a really, really cool experience. But anyway, the Stranger Danger, it had something I couldn't put it was the first time I'd run it in that container, and I could not put my finger on what this, like, the stingy, pungent, like bitter part of the smell was. And then I heard somebody else say it about a different strain or whatever. It was carrots. It was like, it had a ton of lemon, but like that the stingy part in it was fucking carrots. So it was like lemon and carrots. That carroty part has calmed down and kind of gone away with a little bit of a cure. But yeah, I thought that was weird. I never encountered anything that smelled like fucking fresh
I
carrot.
would have expected to ever hear is,
Yeah.
I mean, I can see where you got that from for sure. Like, I don't know if I would have ever said that particularly, but like with that thought in my head, like I can definitely see where it comes, like where he would get that from for sure. Fuck,
Yeah,
that's crazy. Yeah.
yeah.
And it's
then,
like
and
if
then
somebody
too,
was trying to reproduce the smell of a fresh carrot. Like it's not a real, like it's almost like a fake
fresh
real
carrot.
fresh carrot. Yeah, a fake fresh carrot.
Scratch and sniff carrots.
There you go. Yeah, I can see that. Fuck it, that's crazy, dude. Huh.
It was weird. But that's the first time I put that in the pot that had the worms with, the sip container. I remember Spartan talking about the city pickers, and I think last summer I found them. They were $7.50 a piece, so I bought all the last ones they had. And man, I just did, old Pro Mix that I had already used. Just shook it out in the container, worm castings, and craft blend from Build-A-Soil. That's it, man. And I put, a little top dress here and there. And Fluff, you told me this when I asked you about it. I don't know if you remember talking to me about this, but you said, prepare to be bored, because it was just water only. But man, that pot, it's just a different level of product, you know what I mean? So just with my style and trying to hunt through so many.
I do remember.
Yeah.
You kind of like for there was like a couple weeks where you kind of would jump in every once in a while and you ask me a little question and you were like really stoked by today. Yeah. And I was like, all right, get ready to like not have fun anymore.
No, it's been more fun, dude. And you know what? So here's the deal. Like with that pot just stays in my flower space. And I'll even veg with the bottle newts and I'll just plug them in right there. They haven't skipped a beat yet. And so I think I'm on, man, close to like a 5th or maybe 6th flower cycle through. And everything is true about them getting better and better. And when I pulled my root balls out, thought about you, there was just worms climbing through the whole thing. They were trying to escape and I'm throwing them back in, it just, and
makes you fucking happy, doesn't it?
It does, man. It's really freaking cool. And I didn't put worms in the pot. And you can't take a handful of medium out of there without having probably 5 or 6, maybe more in your hand. And I didn't put a single one in. So that's like the coolest thing. I know they came from the castings, but yeah, it's that has been, kind of like that next new thing that's got me, excited about growing and, kind of like I mentioned, like earlier with the mulching and shit, you know what I mean? And using yard scraps and like this organic, mindset. But anyway, I've got 3 of those sip containers running now. Oh, thank you for the advice, man. I appreciate the words of wisdom. And if Spartan's out there too, big shout out. I reached out to him too. He gave me some strong recommendations. So
oh yeah,
it's
absolutely.
Working. Yeah.
Yeah, man. I'm just like, fucking Rick and Cariboo were saying earlier, man. I'm always creeping on the fucking Instas anyway. So like checking your shit out and so it's just when I can see anything that I've helped, somebody with, just continue to thrive and you don't need my ass anymore. So that's even better. And fucking, you just watch that thing thrive. It's awesome to see. So it's always my pleasure to help out,
Yeah, hell yeah, man. It's what I like about this culture. It's awesome. And dude, so in the expression of the flower too. So like even back to stranger danger in that pot, I wouldn't have, I don't know that I would put it in the same classification, you know what I mean, as in a 1 gallon with bottled newts. I just didn't seem like the same plant. But yeah.
Yeah, I've definitely done that too. Tried to small pot a plant that I've grown in, say, like my bed or something. And yeah, it's like, are you sure? Like, did I mix up my fucking clones or something when I did that? Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Sometimes you're just like, God damn, that fucking bed does magic.
Yeah, it's crazy. Environment, man.
Yeemuff, the containers, you said you grow quite a bit in 1 and 2 gallon containers. Is that correct?
1 and 3, and then I've got some of those city pickers. They're, I don't know, close to almost 2 foot by 2 foot, I think.
Oh,
20 by
okay.
24, something like that.
I think I remember when you said you were getting them fuckers, and you were like, dude, they're $7. And I think every one of us in there was like, dude, buy every single one they have.
Get 'em.
And if you have to, ship some to us. Yeah, dude,
Yeah,
that's $7.
So those 1 gals, like, what is your feeding schedule, or do you have any automation there? Or?
No, I just hand water. I work from home, so I've got opportunities to go down there all the time. So I hand water. I feed once a week, usually. I'll have a recharge once a week and a plain water once a week. Or maybe I'll throw some Epsom salts in because, you know, I'm not really a botanist or anything. And I there's a few times that maybe a plant will look a little, what I'm guessing is, magnesium hungry or something, and I'll throw Epsom salts in, or I'll hear, Duke Diamond talk about, getting that sulfur in the plant, for metabolism or whatever to create terpenes. And I don't know a whole lot about it, but every once in a while, if something's yellowing what I think is prematurely, or maybe, a spot shows up and I'm thinking, I don't know, on the Google chart, it looks like it might be magnesium. I'll give them Epsom salts there. But other than that, it's just once a week and then recharge in the plain water. Yep.
Sometimes you kick yourself in your ass because you realize you watered a little too heavy and they're just pissed off at you. I mean, have you done that one yet?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
I mean, dude, I've
all
definitely,
done that one.
yeah, I've had a lot of fuck ups, trust me.
It ends up being especially prevalent when you first do like your sip container and you get a little too over anxious with your water, or a little under, or what it starts out, you get a little under anxious with it. So then you're like, oh yeah, I can give this a lot more. And then you're like, well, I put a top dress in, so I'm going to water this in. But then you forgot that you just, watered your reservoir. So now you just drowned the shit out of that fucker. And yeah, it just looks pissed, and it'll almost look like a really fucked up nutrient deficiency. It won't get it, but they like the moisture so much that like they don't get pissed with the signs of like you overwatered it. Like it almost looks like a CalMag deficiency, or let's say a calcium deficiency.
Yeah, I'll be honest. In those sips, the one is, I've got 3 of them. One I just made up, and then there's one that's the older, and then one I don't know. Probably had about 3 flower cycles through it, and I have yet to see anything other than just raging and freaking beautiful. I think I heard somebody say, one of the set of directions said to keep the reservoir full or whatever in the bottom, but the advice was let it go dry. And so I peek in there, and just depending on where we are through the cycle, right, it's either filling it up every 4th day, or giving it a gallon every other day, when they're really chugging. So they're pretty straightforward.
I was left with the impression that it's nice to let that go as low as possible, and during that time, of course, more air is going, right? You get more oxygen into the root zone, so that makes sense.
Absolutely.
What is your recipe or formula for when you apply recharge? I know the bag says a teaspoon per gallon.
That's it.
That's what you use, is a teaspoon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I do.
Yeah,
I'm a Patreon supporter, and I just use the coupon code and get my discount. Get pounders at a time. I'll put recharge in everything, dude. Like outdoor garden everywhere. So yeah, I don't mind. You know what I mean? I know it's not. There's probably ways you could cut back or whatever, but I'll just go with it.
Yeah, no, that's one area I really don't want to skimp on is recharge. But having said that, I don't want to ask, but I guess I'm going to have to. What do you pay? So with your discount and so on, what do you pay for recharge? Well, let me tell you what I pay.
Okay.
$60 for 8 ounces. Plus, no, because I'm a Patreon, I get free shipping. But it's 60 and plus tax. So 60, I think around $68 Canadian. So double that is 130 some odd dollars for a fucking pound.
Yeah, no, I'm nowhere near that. I think a pound, it's 30% off, but by the time, I don't know, it's probably in the upper 40s, maybe. It's been probably 6 or 7 weeks since I bought it. Yeah.
Yeah. But I have to admit, the very first time I used Recharge, that was when they don't seem to advertise the 48-hour money back guarantee anymore, but still, I'll always remember the first time I used Recharge, and 48 hours later, I looked at those plants and I went, holy shit. And one of the main reasons I love to use Recharge is in my mind, I think I'm creating a happier plant, and if it's happy, it's going to be more pest and pathogen resistant. And touch wood, I haven't had mold or
Uncle Rick, there's some pro tips in the chat. Thunder Dan, he was just asking, if you offered Scotty a stem rub, he might give you a little bit of a discount on Recharge. So, yeah, pro tips in the chat. Fucking good looking out.
Hey, I want to give a shout out to chat too. I can't see chat because I can't do too many things at once. But man, I'm sure there's a lot of people in there that I respect and love too, and big ups to those in chat.
Cheers to Dr. Leave Me Alone, Thunder Dad. I'll even say hi to you. Weedist, Marcus, Kingfisher, Spartan.
They're all here having a good time.
Yeah, the whole family's here. Great to see everybody.
Yeah. I kind of wish I could figure out how to get in chat and do this, but
you're on your phone?
I am.
You should be able to. No,
Rick. One thing at a time. You didn't hear pre-show. I was actually saying that I actually could have used your advice how to log in and get a couple things done at once.
He was saying that right when you logged in, you turned around and you were
you even said, "What were you saying about me?" Yeah.
The funny part was now we know he couldn't even hear us, and that's what he said. That's even fucking funny.
That is funny.
God damn. Although I guess we're getting too obvious because now he knows we're talking about him. So fuck.
I thought you guys were all just moving your lips just to fuck with my head. That's what I was thinking.
I just can't believe it was as simple as a volume knob.
Yeah, you hit the nail on the poor Fluffy had to write up a sign and said volume and stuck it up to the thing. Oh, thanks, buddy. Yeah, there we go. Okay, we're good to go.
So
I gotta be retrained.
You said you got that moon tower going right now, huh? Well, yeah, I know you got it going. Like you said, they fucking took your picture. It was goddamn beautiful.
Yeah, I've got a few phenos in a jar and some clones running again. So yeah, it's pretty awesome.
Have you how many little tasters have you ripped off that bad boy?
Oh, none, dude. I've got jars of it now curing. So I'm running clones now. So
no, but I mean, you've got to taste it and
yeah.
I mean, I fucking maybe I missed it. How was that shit?
It's awesome. I've got here. Let me pull these out and look at them real quick. That's not. Hang on 1 second. These jars labeled. Okay, I've got 4 of them right here. So number 7 was the one that was the picture it sees here now. It's real sweet. I think this one probably leans to, I don't know, golden goat side of Arise maybe, but this is the one that yields, and it's like a citrus with like chocolatiness in there, like an earthy like chocolate, like it's just It's on the sweet side of earthy and on the citrusy side of sweet, if that makes sense. This next one, see, I made a mistake and put this one in a jar that had scarlet begonias in before it. That one's that's old man breath. Like, yeah.
That's that you don't
like,
really know if you want to go in for a second smell type fucking jar.
Yeah, exactly. But you know what I'll tell you about this one? I was excited about it in veg the whole way through because when I was rubbing my stem, it smelled like Swiss cheese. Take that out of context.
Oh, you know, they've got topicals for that, bro.
So yeah, no, this was it literally took me back to like childhood of the deli that had the Swiss cheese squares with like the toothpick, and they were like hard on the edges because they'd been sitting out all, you know, the whole time. But it smelled just like that. And now, like that, it's been sitting around a little bit. It smells like a old dude mouth, which is weird. I don't know how I know that smell. Don't ask any more questions. This one,
that's rough.
Yeah. This next one too. It's got just there's definitely like, man, a lot of like dirt and chocolate. Yeah, that one's sweet too there. So there's a lot of, you know, kind of sweetness, but then like a fresh soil and chocolatiness in there too. So yeah, good mixes, man. 3 of these phenos, 2, when I smoke them, like I can't give a fuck about anything. I mean anything. So that can either be good or bad depending on when you smoke it, right? But number 7 is this one's my jam. It's uplifting, you know what I mean? I've been kind of smoking around a little bit here. It's just like happy moods, good laughs, you know what I mean? So but yeah, that's where we're at.
That's
Got 4 phenos.
I was just looking at this question in chat there. It says for Green Goddess here, it said new to growing CBD. At what percentage of amber will you harvest CBD for the best medical properties? Now, from my understanding, when I've done it before, it was actually no amber. You actually harvested CBD when it was clear. Like right before things started turning amber was when we always harvested for what we noticed was the best CBD effect. So how was your guys' effect? You know, how do you harvest for that?
I would do it exactly the same as any other strain. But what I was gonna say was if you want it more, you know, a more sedative effect, then you're gonna want to let it go a little more amber.
See, I didn't notice that with the CBDs. I actually noticed, you know, like with wanting to like get out of the anxiety like modes and things like that, what most people are kind of using the base CBD for, that, you know, that was on the more clear side of it is what I noticed when I used to do it. So, but that was
For
me.
sure.
Does anybody else?
Like I don't actually have experience growing a CBD flower, so I'm not really the right person to ask, but I do, you know a little bit about how they do it. And I would say, you know, what I said before, but maybe somebody else knows way more than I.
I'm sure
Dankovich would be a good person to talk to. If he's friends.
Would know.
Yeah, hypothetical, yeah. So like if you need us to like point you in the right direction to talk to somebody that we just mentioned, just send one of us a message.
And I would also suggest, again, I don't have a lot of experience with it myself, but I would also suggest maybe, you know, take some of the plant down when you know the trichomes are clear. Take some when they're cloudy, and take some when they're maybe turning amber, and then form your own opinion.
You know, that's a great point. For anybody just new to growing and kind of new to trying to find your own medicine, it is best off to kind of stagger harvest your first couple plants just to see how the effects you want at harvest times and everything. So, you know, great tip, Rick. You know, for a new grower, you should just kind of harvest that, your 60 day, your 70 day, take it a little late, pull some a little early, but always scope those trichomes and see what you're looking for every time you harvest, so exactly what you want when that smoke's ready.
Yeah.
And Spartan's just saying that it could be that they're trying to avoid any, a spike on THC when they're testing. So they do take it a bit earlier because of that.
That's a good point. Yeah.
Which, that would make sense because you don't want to risk it.
That's what I was wondering too. Like if the plant doesn't have potential for THC, let her ride. Yeah. That's what I would do. Just my own thought. I don't have experience. I'm just talking on my ass.
Yeah, we actually on the show yesterday morning, we were talking about in the news, Thailand is opening up CBD to its population, and but they were talking too that it's only going to be CBD, and who knows what percentage of THC or CBD will be in it, and of course now we're trying to figure out how to get around it. How do we can substitute our CBD for their CBD or what have you. So be interested to see how they roll it out.
Either way, it's a start.
Here.
Yeah, for a place like Thailand where like you literally could get a death sentence for a fucking some cannabis. Yeah. That is a huge thing. And accidental cross-pollination probably really needs to happen.
But they're going about it a very interesting way. Just like you said, Fluff, like from one extreme to the other, where you will kill you if you try to consume it, to now but it's more focused on medicine, not the recreational side of it. Now, I don't know if you're going to have to qualify to a doctor or whatever.
Are they going to come in your house and test it?
I doubt that. I mean, no.
So what stops you from being like, that's the CD?
Yeah, I mean, once you have a plant that looks like cannabis, right. What's going to stop them? Yeah, if they're not testing it by just like I think Johnny was saying when earlier, is just man, that's the same plant he gave me. I don't know.
Are they allowing them to grow it though, or they can only purchase it?
No, grow.
They're allowing them to grow it.
The article said they were giving him a fucking plant, right? They were handing out plants.
Cuts.
Oh wow, that's cool.
Yeah, they're handing clones. So
how happy I'd be if the Canadian government just started giving away fucking plants. Here you go.
Well, you guys,
that'd be amazing. Instead of having to go to dispensaries and stuff like that, they're just like, here, because they might not get the clone that they were. What I'm growing might not necessarily be the clone they gave me in the end. If you catch it. But that's fuck. I'd love to. This is the shit that goes through my head when I'm high as fuck and partially listening to conversations.
It's kind of smart for them to give the plants, because then they know they're getting a CBD plant or a hemp plant.
And if they're trying to control it, right, it's very smart to say, hey, we will give you this. Right. Yeah. So absolutely. And it fits with their style of governing and everything else. But it is such a huge fucking leap forward for them. It's fucking amazing. But on that real quick, Rick, hold on real quick. That Cariboo was just saying, there's a lot of people failing. I'm sure you're probably one of them. Have you checked what chat you're in? Have you been in top chat the whole damn time?
I was such a loser. I was totally a top chat.
What a loser.
So you know what, you guys got to get over that live chat. What party that?
Usually,
he's never fucking there.
Movie's usually here to remind me, but.
I would love to see
Yeah.
Rick at like a fucking Slipknot concert at the end of the song. Woo!
I could.
Good.
I could. Actually, speaking of concerts, Rick, I think I've mentioned this before, but like up in Prince George, August 5th to 7th, on like Friday night, they've got like, I forget who the opening band is, but it's Trooper and Nazareth closing out. And then on Saturday, they've got like Helix, Toronto, forget who the next the Headpins and Tom Cochran. And then the next night, they've got like Sweet and April Wine playing. I'm going to go.
Oh, wow.
So that should
Some
be
big
fun.
names there.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, so back to Thailand. I'm thinking that yeah, they've gone from one extreme to the other, and I'm thinking that they don't think for 1 minute that we can sneak in one plant and substitute it for another. First of all, the people know what the penalty would be if they get caught doing shit like that. And all they would have to do at any given moment is go in and just take a DNA sample. And I don't think that people would be wanting to mess with that.
Well, I wouldn't play that game over there. The laws are definitely much different over here. Because you're very right. You could, a lot of cases say, because if they were to actually say give the same cut to everyone there, which would actually in theory be possible, all you have to do is walk into someone's yard, there it is. And if you got some big fat bladed indica thing and they're giving you these super narrow skinny leaves, it's like yeah, I don't think so. And then yeah, of course DNA testing is easily doable too. And then fuck me, I've seen that movie. Was that Broken Kingdom or Broken Palace or whatever? The girls get caught for smuggling heroin or hash or something like that. No, I guess.
Yeah. But the theory, I still endorse the theory. They're promoting cannabis as a medicine. They're promoting CBD, and I think it's just fantastic. They're going about it the right way.
Well, they not only are they promoting it though, it's just like they're here you go.
Yeah,
like this is yours. Do your thing with it. That's just.
Now, I don't know if you're going to have to go to a doctor and get them to sign off and say, yeah, because he or she has.
Okay, well, that's fine. I mean, that's how it started for a lot of states here also. Most of it started medical. And it would have been real nice for somebody, like any of us who like to grow our own medicine, that if there would have been open fucking, here's access to medicine. Like, here you go. Here's a start. That would have been awesome.
Absolutely. And I would predict that if they're started this program tomorrow, that within 5 to 10 years, I'll bet you that I'm not going to bet, but I would suggest that maybe they would promote in the next 5 to 10 years. There are also, everybody's on the CBD bandwagon, but let's not discount for a heartbeat the benefits of THC. I don't want to apologize for how it helps you with sleeping and anxiety and so many things. And so, but it's a progression in the proper fashion. Start by allowing every single person to grow their own medicine. And then what a place to start. I wish Canada was at that level right now.
Yeah.
Fuck, I give everything else away if they just gave me what Thailand gave their people.
That's actually super interesting how you're talking, how Canada has its legalization, and you say you would give that up for something that focuses a little more on the proper usage and, knowledge and everything else getting out there, right? Trying to do it the right fucking way. My son was actually talking about, he was reading the laws in Illinois here, and there is like no literature about the medical use. And actually there is in the writing about the harmful effects, the known harmful effects of cannabis, of the widely used, and but like nothing about any medical properties. And it's so ridiculous. Like written in our laws is fucking propaganda bullshit. Like it fucking astounded me. I was gonna post it later, but yeah, just fucking ridiculous how shit like that is fucking written out.
Yeah. I've been giving a lot of thought to the stigma associated with cannabis, and I was thinking that in spite of the fact that I should have written down my thoughts. I'm having trouble putting them together here. How do I'm gonna talk more about it when I maybe am not so high. But what's my point? My point is that I don't like. Okay, let's take the percentage of people that do not smoke cannabis, and they still have an opinion about cannabis. I would suggest that the stigma associated with cannabis is not nearly as extreme as it was, say, when they brought out that movie. What was it? Like they were really scaring the shit out of people about cannabis, and people were afraid of it, and I don't know, out of the percent, like, first of all, I mean, the percentage, I believe, I'm going to throw a number there, but I could be wrong, but I would think that possibly 70% of Canada, US population is probably in favor of approval of cannabis.
Can you imagine how hard the stigma of fucking cannabis crashes when your 90-year-old fucking mother gets handed a cannabis plant from the government she has trusted her whole fucking life? Rather, that said, all right, we're sorry, this will help you. Boom, here you go. Like, and she goes, well, that's medicine, right? She trusts that motherfucker right away. But if she got that from me on the corner or something, she ain't fucking trusting that. She ain't gonna trust our word for that shit. So, something like the government, doing such a big step as to provide you with it is huge, like you said.
That actually, I never really thought about it till you were just talking about it, Fluff. But if you take someone that really grew up in reefer madness kind of
that's the one,
type bullshit, and then all of a sudden you bought into that because that's what you were told and taught your whole life, and all of a sudden your government gives you this fucking plant, and just would that not possibly throw your head into quite the fucking tailspin? You like bought into all that bullshit rhetoric, it's the devil, blah 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 blah. No, here, take this. We give you this, they could give you opium poppies or some fucking shit like that. But no, we're gonna give you this cannabis plant.
That'd be cool. I'd be like, Mom, throw that shit out. And I'm like, here's a real plant. Government shit out of here.
Right? My mom gets something like CBD shit from the store, and I'm like, no, Mom, I got you. Hold on, just don't even worry about that. I got the, you want some topicals? I got some shit that really works. Don't you worry.
My mom's all about making, she loves to do infused olive oil. Seems to be her thing that she's really into doing. I've heard rumors because I got my parents into growing within months of me starting up again, right? I showed up on their doorstep for my dad's birthday with a tray full of clones, and away they went, kind of thing. And
I feel like I need to live by Caribou because I feel like everybody I know who's anywhere in the general fucking vicinity of him, he just shows up with trays of clones for him. Like, hey, look what I got for you.
Well, I always cut more than I need, so it works out really well. Yeah, Rick loves it. I sent him a picture the other day of I think it was 4 clones, and then the text caption was "free to good home." And it was like, don't tempt me or something along those lines as the reply. So I was like, okay, who's close by that I can go? And I had to go sign a lawyer paper, who I out in the 150, and my buddy, Mr. Grove, I think that's his IG handle. He lives kind of out there, and I put him in a frosted mini wheat cereal box, one of those double bag boxes. So he put 4 cups in there, and sealed up. I was like, hey, I'm gonna be in your area. If you're at work, I'm gonna put this near this mailbox, and if you see a blue mini wheats box, there's some fucking clones in it. It's 4 cuts of the machine. 3 cuts of the number 4, which is my big beastly fucking cut, it seems to be, and then the number one of the number 1, which is smaller but looks pretty close, just a smaller version of it. And we ended up meeting up. It worked out pretty good. But as soon as he found out there was cuts going that way, he's like, "Oh fuck yeah!" I jumped all over that.
Nice.
Oh, so fucking Yeemuffukkenhaw. So with all the vegetables and everything, are you gonna weave a little cannabis there inside the greenhouse?
I don't know.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
I don't know. I'm feeling the greenhouse is a novelty, at least this year. And there's too many interested people that say, well, let me see it.
Yeah. Yeah,
That's a good
right.
point.
Because it's up that first year, and everybody wants to fucking get a ride through there and see how you're doing. I get you. Yeah, for sure.
Get down with
I'd
And
just be rude to tell them they can. Other than that, I have to tell them they can fuck right off, and that's just not in my nature, you know.
Well, but also the fuck right off approach that also draws a suspicion and attention.
Yeah.
That too. What's so important in there that we can't see it, right? Especially if you are normally such a good guy, that would be like, hey, yeah, come check this out. So it's,
it used to be like that back in the fucking the beginning of the Carolina Reaper days, when motherfuckers were breeding and fucking with those things. I know dudes had greenhouses. They'd be like, "Nah, you don't get to go in that. Don't worry about what I got." Because they were selling it, dude. They motherfuckers were thieving the shit out of them peppers when they first came out. It was crazy as fuck.
that's
wild.
Funny. That's crazy. I've never realized.
But they were, because you could, the seed packs were fucking the first year I remember seeing one. They were fucking almost $200 for a pack fucking Reaper seeds.
Jeez.
And yeah, it was crazy. And so, when people started growing them, right, everybody was like, and they're notoriously kind of hard to pollinate sometimes, right? Get your fucking peppers off of. So guys who had, fucking, little greenhouses, little 10 by 10s or something that they would just fill with these fucking reapers and try to get them all to fucking pollinate and everything. So, yeah, guys, and the actual peppers were you could sell in farmers markets for crazy prices back when that shit first started. They had people just like fucking cannabis, dude. They were getting their fucking peppers ripped and shit.
That's funny. That's
Something else.
I'm so proud of my Reaper plants right now, and they've not even given me a single anything that even remotely looks like pepper. But it's cold here still. It's room temperature. We still haven't hit that outside in this area, and so my plants are not happy. Sorry, but these Reapers, it's 2 plants in the same sip pot container, and I could probably just about fill a 3x3 tent with it. It's just big and drawn out, starting to go up. It doesn't like the cold weather, so hopefully it'll stop snowing up here in Canada one day soon. And
not with that accent, it won't.
I got Reapers going too. They are slow. That's something I'm actually glad I started 1st of February.
Yeah,
comparatively speaking.
But
no, I'm just saying compared to just about everything else, that was probably the one thing that's crawling super slow.
Oh, yeah, dude, those fucking Reapers dude, it's like growing a freak show, dude. They're just fucking painfully slow.
Well, that's probably a good thing for me then, because I started those, I think it was the end of last summer, early fall, somewhere in around there, and they've been outside for about a month, better part of a month now. So because they're
and it's still snowing there.
yeah, I was working in snow. Like there's not so much snow on the ground except for in a few places where it doesn't really get sunshine. But yeah, I was actually fucking snowing on us today, and it's like, hey, I'm legit tired of this shit. Go the fuck away. When the girlfriend starts getting Facebook fucking the 1 year ago today posts about us playing in the water park in the fucking town here.
Yeah.
It's all that shit, and it's snowing on me. And I was like, okay. It's like, fuck off. I'm ready for sunshine.
Enough.
I think it's supposed to hit 90 here on Friday, like 92.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? Fucking killing it over here in the fucking Midwest right now. That's
What's
stupid.
room temperature for you guys? Like about 68, 72, somewhere around there?
Room temperature?
Yeah.
I mean, like,
You mean like general temperature for this time of year?
But you guys don't have a general room temperature? That's kind of a static thing.
I fucking set my thermostat at like 73.
Yeah, I guess 68. Yeah.
All right. Well, it's something pretty simple, but that's up here in Canada. But I'm too high to even go into trying to explain it because I'll turn it into something that it's not. So it's fine. But
No, this if the AC's not on, it gets hot as fuck already. So
yeah, I know. But the gist of it is like 21 degrees Celsius is considered to be room temperature generally up here in Canada. And yeah, I was trying to figure out what your guys was, but I mean, I'm confusing myself for fuck's sakes.
I'm lost. Sorry.
Yeah. Hey.
Caribou has a tendency to do that to people.
What happened to your background there, Uncle Rick?
Oh, did you break it?
I don't know.
Oh God!
I do not
Yeah,
know.
don't let him start pushing buttons.
Don't-
Are you kidding me? He's fucking
don't
live on
confuse me
TV.
now.
He's gonna fuck some shit up.
There we go.
That's better. That's better.
Getting used to it now.
I feel like
So,
we
Fluff,
get. Yeah. What's up?
since you're the CEO of the garden club, what do you got going outside? You in the ground yet?
So I've got just some tomatoes that I started indoors, and I've kind of told everybody like those fucking peat pots just piss me off. So they're in the ground now, and everything's really starting to show that the roots are spreading out. They're a lot happier now. So like that makes me a lot happier. So that's just right now the run of tomatoes and a couple just like I think a sweet pepper and a bell pepper. And then because I kind of knew I was going to be gone on vacation, I really didn't I didn't want to deal with trying to sprout or have any young plants that needed to be taken care of while I was out that young.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't even start until I got back. And right now the watermelon and cantaloupe have popped. I've got some just some bush beans that are coming up. With the sweet cream rush peppers, I think they're called. I got those
some
from
of those.
Noob. Yeah, from Noob. Or
No, I got those from I think Baker Creek. But yeah, I had some of those this year. Right on.
Yeah, dude, he fucking had some, and I was commenting on him. He was like, "You want some?" I was like, "Fuck yeah!" So he sent me some, and I was like, "Fuck yeah, dude! Those are just wild ass looking little peppers, ain't they?"
I don't have peppers yet. I just have
But
big ass leaves.
you saw what they look like, though, right?
Yes.
Yeah, dude, fucking wild little peppers.
Sweet heat. Yeah, that's good.
So, and then let's see what else: cauliflower, broccoli, all that. It's already like late season for that shit, but I'm gonna get some out anyway. I'll get some good shit out of it.
Right on, man.
Yeah, just kind of like random stuff. I'm gonna get some buckets started for potatoes here soon. I convinced myself I'm gonna do that. I'm either gonna do that and some buckets or a 15-gallon pot. I haven't figured out which yet.
Nice. Awesome.
Yeah. Maybe some carrots and shit.
Very good, man. Sounds good.
So Did you find trying to fill up that fucking greenhouse with, you know, your veggies and stuff that it was really easy to fill up, or like were you having to hold yourself back from putting plants in that motherfucker?
Well, I was limited just by the seed start area that I had, and I had it kind of overgrown. So, I mean, going from that, it was like 2 shelves of jungle. I mean, everything was in solo cups, so I put them in 1 gallons when I put them in the greenhouse, and they got a chance to spread out and kind of start to take off there. But no, dude, it was like I think like everything I put out there fit on a pallet and a half, you know, of space. You know what I mean? So there's tons of room. I don't know that I'll even fill it this season. My plan is to have some of those sip containers out there that, you know, the idea would be that I am going to extend the end of the season longer. You know what I mean? I've obviously lost the early cool season, but I'm looking forward to, you know, into the fall where, you know, tomatoes and stuff that I just started, you know what I mean? It'd be obviously very late right now, but I've got tomatoes that I just now started. They just broke soil yesterday, but, you know, they'll be in containers that I'll be able to move into the greenhouse. And, you know, I'm pulling tomatoes in December, you know, so.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's perfectly fucking feasible. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
I mean, it'd be a little hard. You know, they like to fucking seem to get a little watery when, you know, they get cold, but, you know, you probably still, yeah, it'd be as good as a fucking, you know, tomato you buy from the store anyway.
Yeah, I mean, if they're trash, I'll figure something else out. You know what I mean? But it'll be cool.
But I mean, hell, like say, you know, even if you just fucking added like a radiant heater to that thing in the middle of the winter, you know, plopped it with a, you know, something, you know, where you weren't putting too much hurt on that extension cord, just a heater and a fan, you know, enough to make them happy, and that would make a world of fucking difference.
For sure. And I don't know how long into the season would work, but I did see one guy on YouTube used aquarium heaters, and I mean, you could throw those in a trash can, you know what I mean, full of water, and just crank them up and keep a big trash can full of warm water for that radiant, you know. Not that it would fill a big greenhouse, but you know, you could, you know, generate something there. Keep them close by.
And then even you know, just to keep some fucking light cycle and shit, you know, you run a fucking Thowie in there, an HPS, but you got plenty of heat right there, bud.
Talk about if you're drawing attention. Yeah.
When you're only running fucking, you know, vegetables and shit in there, hell, ain't nobody fucking you. Yeah.
I still don't want people
that close.
Oh, yeah, I'm nice. I ain't that nice. You know.
I feel you. Yeah, that's me. I've got them sitting out on my fucking pool deck, so I guess I'm not that guy who's like,
man, I don't have anything in the ground. I just put one raised bed in last weekend, but hey, we'll get to it, dude. I mean, if you think about it, what is it? The last frost date? I mean, it's within the last couple of years, it's just gotten earlier and earlier. You know what I mean? You know, used to be a gamble to put something in the ground middle of May. You know what I mean? And now it's kind of like, oh, you're 2 weeks late.
Yeah, right.
You're not 2 weeks late. You know, there's always been Memorial Day around here, so still in good track.
Yeah, we're kind of on the same time frame as, you know, gardens kind of, you know, you were standing back in fucking Memorial Day weekend, like staring at your garden because you just find, you know, you just did her that weekend, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, totally. And yeah, now it's like you said, you know, I feel like I'm about fucking 3 weeks behind already, and it's not the case.
Right.
That's why fucking shit like Johnny putting the shit out in April 1st.
I know, he's straight killer.
Right? Fucking got me all fucked up thinking I'm late. All right, sorry, Rick. Go ahead. I'll shut up.
What state are you in, Yuma?
State of my own.
I'm in a state of mind. Well, okay. What latitude are you at? That's where I was going with that question. Okay.
I I
Oh,
felt
yeah,
like
you
I
know your
had.
zone.
See, that's the thing, and I felt like I had a couple thoughts gathered and could, not get too stumped or anything. And fuck, I should have known Rick was going to hit me with that, and I had no idea, man.
Okay, but if you could
You got me.
please ask your phone after the show, ask your phone, and then you can send me a message.
I got you.
While I got you here, when's your birthday?
Put the rubber glove on.
When's your birthday?
Social Security number too, please.
When's my birthday?
Yeah.
February the 15th.
Thank you.
You know my social? You need my social security number or anything?
No, that should be it. Have you got your bank account number? Maybe. And,
yeah.
And your MasterCard.
Yeah, I'll grab my wallet. Give me 1 second.
You just need your debit card and CV number, and he's good. No worries.
Not on Cariboo Hart TV, everyone. Uncle Rick will give you a right proper fleecing.
Fucking Rick always said he was in fucking sales, but I believe he was just in taking people's money because he's a bad motherfucker. That's what it was. Yeah. He like talking nuns out of shit. I bet he fucking walked down the street and tried to talk you out of your fucking spare change in your pocket. I fucking got your number, Rick. I got your number. You don't fucking fool me.
Well, isn't that what sales is all about? Is taking your money?
That's right.
And then right when you think he cares about you, he's rubbing your stem, things are going good, and then he drops your ass in ice cold water. Fuck you.
This is how I really feel.
See, fucking Rick actually setting the fish loose today was more of a message to people who've been talking shit about him. He's like, yeah, this is what I do to my fucking my favorite pets. How you like this shit? Yeah, come at me, bro.
Imagine
this is how I deal with my friends. This is how I deal with the people I love. Okay.
Well, on the bright side, I know it always stay on your good side. So we'll keep status quo. And
that's a good one. I'm fucking glad Yeemuffukkenhaw is still a guest, and this needs to happen. So, what kind of animal are you feeling tonight, and why?
Oh, dude, I'd be. How about an octopus?
Yes.
Okay. Why are you feeling all grabby and shit?
We're talking eight stem rubs all at the same time.
That's right. And imagine how that smells. Imagine how that smells.
We could get a few more panel members on for you. I'm just saying.
I can't recall if I posted the video or not, but we were working last Friday. We pulled into the Felker Lake campground, and someone took a tree trunk or stump that was there. They carved it down into an octopus, exposed a bunch of the primary roots coming off of it, and just carved the stump into an octopus's head. Had a drill or something like that, and it put like 1 million of the pock marks down all the fucking tentacle arms. Like, this thing was fucking awesome.
That's badass.
If I'll after the show, if I don't forget, which that is honestly the most likely case scenario is me forgetting. I'll see if I can find it. If it isn't already on Instagram, I'll post that up. It was pretty cool, and it was like, we pull in, I'm riding shotgun, and like we damn near ran the fucking thing over. Had no idea. And we get out to smoke a joint, and it was just like, oh wow, like right there, 3 feet away. Pretty cool.
That's cool.
Okay, I gotta send this message to Thunder Dan. I put it in here like a million years ago, and I forgot to hit send. Because I was looking for a icon. That's what happened. And then, of course, I got involved in the stem rub. So what are you going to, fuck, I can't find it yet. Anyway, Thunder Dan, right back at you with some of those smoke, I'm blowing that smoke up your ass. There you go.
It's a good thing this show gets age restricted, whether we like it or not. Like I get an email pretty much every after every show. Yeah, we've age restricted it. Imagine that on a family show, eh?
Just saying. Okay,
Just
saying.
about fucking spit my fucking water all over the fucking laptop right there. God damn it.
That's it. Yeemuff, I'm from now on. That's my favorite animal, octopus.
Yes,
Octopus.
sir.
Well,
Hey,
yeah, because you could rub 8 stems at once, right?
well, and talk about Uncle Reach Around. I mean, holy shit. You wouldn't even see me coming. Hi there. Whoop, whoop, whoop.
You could
Okay,
easily
everybody got a picture of that?
you could easily like only rub 4 stems and be twice as productive as if you had 2 free arms. So if you had 4 free arms to do normal shit and rub 4 stems,
Okay.
arguably better than 8 stems at a time.
I'm thinking that we're overthinking this topic. We got to move on.
Is that arguably better? I feel like that's pretty solidly better.
When you
Yeah.
doing the whoop 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 thing, I was thinking, you know, those inflatable arm guys that do that at the car.
Yeah.
I was thinking like an octopus version of one of those.
Yeah.
I had a mouthful of water.
You just giggled. That
Yeah,
wasn't even
sorry.
a laugh. That was a straight up giggle.
I had to keep my mouth closed, dude. I was full of water.
I know they about got me too. I fucking it would have been on camera. That'd have been real embarrassing. And like fucking squeegee that shit.
Shoot. A
Was
shout
that,
out to where did he go? I'm just looking at martial artist. Oh, it was Dirt Road Dude who put his name in there, but that's easy to fuck me up. But anyways, I started microdosing. I'm in my 2nd week now, and haven't really noticed any major. Nice part of me is leveling off a little bit, but so looking forward to the next couple of weeks of my journey. Allegedly, I may be doing a little bit more than a microdose on Friday.
Hey,
That's the rumor that I've heard. Okay.
So what's your normal dose you're taking right now then? Like, so what is the actual micro when you're taking the micro?
My actual micro is just over 0.5, or 0.5 of a gram. So in other words,
over half a
it
gram.
would take 20 of those. Yeah, 20 to make a gram. A very small dose.
Oh, 0.05 is that 0.0? Oh,
Yeah, that sounds more like point.
guys. Oh my god.
It's a double the double zero capsules. I kind of stuff those as full as I can. I haven't, I should be weighing each one. I just although I just figured out a secret for when I'm making my capsules, I don't have to weigh each capsule. I just have to weigh all of my material. And say, for example, I'll grind up an ounce, and then I can put it into the capsule filler and then do simple division to figure out how much is in each capsule. And then once it's all in the capsule, then it's a lot easier to weigh. And if I have to add or subtract a little bit, I can do that. But right now I'm just I'm experimenting with it. And I just got another strain. I can't remember the name right now, but I have been taking up to 5 grams when I get into a major into a hero dose, and 5 grams just wasn't doing it for me. And I'm taking that 2-week break between major doses. But the last thing I got here, I took 3 grams, and holy shit, I was lost. Yeah, the couple hours that I really can't figure out, and they're gone. Never going to get them back, but that's okay. Martial artist, 2 to 4 months. And thank you for that. And I was talking or watching another show, and they were talking that sometimes up to a month. So other people have felt it felt a difference after 3 or 4 days. So we all.
What
have
was the
our own-
question?
Out of this?
What was the question that you answered, Rick, from Martial Artist?
He said it took him between 2 to 4 months to really notice a change after microdosing. And so that my answer to that is, I'm not expecting anything, immediately. I'm on it, and it's all an experiment right now. I don't know how many days I should be on and how many days I should take off. I've just decided to start with that dosage for 4 days and then taking 3 days off. I may change that around, so I'll have to keep experimenting. But it's fun. It's fun experimenting.
And what are you trying to get out of this whole out of the whole regimen of microdosing? What's your goal? What are you trying to achieve out of this?
Thank you for that question. I'm just I like to experiment with things, but no. I just have to think about that before I give you my answer. I get the impression that microdosing really helps. Well, it helps. I know what I've heard, depression, and I don't know if I suffer from depression, anxiety. I don't know about that either. But if I had an objective, I think it would be to find more clarity in life. Just looking at situations and I don't know, maybe defining them in a clearer way. That's my purpose. I was watching another video today. Even for microdosing, they suggest that there's certain things that you should be doing to put yourself in that place. One, start off by meditating, and then other things, have a purpose. Like, what is your objective? Just like you said, Fluff, what is your purpose for doing this? And at the end, have a journal, make notes, and martial artists for significant changes with depression, PTSD, absolutely. Yeah.
I was just really curious. It's a topic we could talk about on for another time, but I have somebody who is I kind of do the unofficial caregiver thing for, and she was very worried about her mental state as she's getting older, things like that. She has a lot of PTSD, there's a lot of things being treated, and she's really been thinking about looking towards the microdosing and thinking about that. So it's kind of been on my mind a little bit to try to do a little bit of research to see if I can't I have all the resources for people. So when you say you're doing it, then I want to know what you're expecting to try to get out of this for you, because I know where I'd be trying to treat. So now I want to see how you're treating yourself. So then, we can look at methods to treat somebody. So, that's just, it's right now, it's pretty interesting to me. It's not really a path I've ever thought of taking for myself, but, if it's something that I could do to help treat somebody else who is in a fairly bad way, I offered to go ahead and deliver over to them, just because she hadn't even been able to leave the house in 3 days. She's just in such a bad way, panicky, gets out, or just doesn't have the energy because she hasn't eaten in fucking days. So there's so much that goes along to it, and I had brought that up to her, and about the mushroom therapy and stuff like that, and she said that she had started looking into it. So so it might be something that I need to look a little more into. So thanks for bringing it up. Just made me think. Yeah, sorry.
For sure,
man. For sure, it's so interesting to me too. Like I I don't have anything I think that I need to treat, but like just from hearing other people who see it as this medicinal benefit and there's benefit for it, I'm in that boat too, where it's like, man, now I'm at the point where I want to see what it can do for me. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm lucky that I don't have any type of anxiety, depression issues, nothing like that. But still, I mean, even for somebody like me, I feel like there's a lot that mushrooms have to offer that, man, I really want to look into it. But I am intimidated as heck to try it. I don't know why. I just feel like I'm ripe to fuck them up.
I kind of like the way Rick said some along the lines of the way like look at things a little bit differently, seeing them differently.
For sure.
You know, like the whole the most obvious answer isn't always the correct answer type shit, right? When I got into microdosing, like I deal with anxiety on some levels, but I can be angry at the same time. So going through divorce situations and all this shit and all that, I started noticing that in bipolar as well doesn't help. And things that I noticed that would probably normally set off a bipolar spaz attack. We did out this stuff that I would just normally probably just like kind of laugh for fuck's sakes and then mutter on under my breath as I kind of walk away sort of thing, right? Instead of whereas that would have been for fuck's sakes and then blow up at someone and then feel like an absolute idiot because I just acted again in just a stupid manner over something that didn't really warrant that, right? And just a certain calmness when you feel the anxieties build up, something like that, just I don't know, and easier to focus to me. When I get anxiety, it's always been get my attention off it fast. Like I got it so like it used to be alcohol, used to be one of those things, because the faster I drink, I'll get drunk and then I'll fucking start thinking about better things. So that now when I feel anxieties coming up and microdosing, I find it's a little easier to focus my attention on something else. I don't know, alcohol is no longer a crutch for me. And it's just easier to do it naturally through just, okay, oh, hey, look, I got a pink lampshade in here, throwing pink light on my face, and you start fucking looking at that. It's just, okay, now I'm not thinking about shit in my pants anymore, type stuff.
Yeah. Now, Yeemuff, you had said that you have a fear of experimenting with the mushrooms.
Is partly that as well. My wife had previous experience and it was not good. I haven't had any. Matter of fact, here's my experience. I have a friend who I'm looking at right now. I've got a psilocybin chocolate bar, and it's probably obviously not medical grade because it's got like Nintendo characters on it. Okay, so that's what I'm dealing with here. I tried 3 little pieces of it, and I think that it turned out to be something like maybe like close to 0.3 of a gram, and I slept good, and it had been a long time since I woke up like feeling super like refreshed, like mentally. Like I thought, like right away, I was like, boom, like that was a great experience. You know what I mean? And then, so then I was wondering, is there enough left in this chocolate bar to make me feel like the next level experience? You know what I mean? Because you know what I mean? I just don't know. I don't want to go off the deep end and lose it. And, to the extent I've heard other people with advice of like start slow, go low or whatever. But what does that mean? You know what I mean? To somebody who, I've got kids and a career. I can't hardly afford a mental breakdown. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. So the reason I asked that question is if you are doing a proper microdose, you don't feel it. There's nothing like, if you feel it, if you go, whoa, then you've taken too much. So that's why I'm suggesting that, there shouldn't be a fear about trying out microdosing.
Okay. Maybe I'm not trying to try out microdosing as much. Tipping my toes in the water to say, like, for somebody who's looking to see what a psilocybin experience is or could be. Like, not exactly looking to lose my mind, but hey, man,
Yeah.
change of perspective for the positive. Like, who can't benefit from that? You know, what should be a target for something like that? You know?
Yeah. That's, and part of my problem is I do things to the extreme. That's so, you know, like, and like by taking hero doses of mushrooms, there are other objectives. Mine mostly is recreational, but I mean, if you want to do a deep dive and do a real, you know, look at your true soul, or want to die and step outside your body and look back in again, you know, maybe that's something that I've got some DMT. I'm just anxious to take a run at that again. So that's who I am. Agnes in chat there earlier. Cheers, Agnes. You were saying that microdosing. You've been microdosing for a few months now, and that it had helped your father with it's at the, you know, when you forget things, dementia. Don't look at me like that. But I had heard recently that yes, it definitely helps with Alzheimer. They've been doing research for Alzheimer. Yeah.
Amazing stuff.
It is.
Implications of what it can possibly do is for the brain is huge, and we're only just kind of starting to tap all that potential. You just think of how much research and information could be available to us now if we didn't have all those bullshit fucking reefer madness or propaganda prohibition bullshit, right? How many other plants out there are fucking awesome for us? Yeah, it's getting time to shut it down, Fluff. Yeah, you can say goodbye if you want to jump off first.
No, I was just gonna fucking sneak out, man. Like y'all got the fucking thing going, so I was just
calling
gonna
attention to it and you know, trying to bail on us.
No, I was trying to bail on you. You know, I'm sorry. Terrible person.
It's all good. It seems like a great time to shut her down, though. Yeemuffukkenhaw, thanks for coming on for part 3, man. We're not gonna wait a year. We're close to it for part 4, I promise. Thanks for coming on.
No, thank you, man. No, for real. Thank you. And anytime, I'm hanging out with you guys all the time. Anyway, this is, you know, I love this little group here, man. Or actually, kind of big group. So,
fuck yeah,
appreciate it. It's been fun.
Appreciate you, my friend.
Thanks.
We do appreciate you, brother, man. Thanks for coming on and talking. It was a great time as always, man. Love talking with you.
Same to you, Fluff. Appreciate it, man.
Always, brother.
Green Goddess, I didn't get to talk to you a whole lot, but
I know I'm super quiet tonight. I apologize.
That's okay. It was still nice to see you.
It was nice to see you too.
All
right.
You know what? Next time we will force really awkward conversations between you two. We'll make it happen just really fucking awkwardly. It'll turn into gold, man. Don't worry.
Back in grade 5, go hold her hand.
Goddess, now that I'm thinking about that, Goddess, you really didn't have a lot to say during our stem rub conversation.
Oh God, Rick.
This is not the way we wrap it up. You know what? You're trying to be good.
You weren't going to touch that. Wink, wink.
Was not going near that one. I have already put my foot in my mouth way too many times.
All right, everyone in live chat, thank you for hanging out with us. Y'all are awesome. Thank you for the support. We definitely appreciate that shit. We'll be back. Well, Friday, we got our Friday, Saturday, or Sunday shows as per usual. Next Tuesday, we should have Ross to Jeff coming up.
Oh, nice.
Awesome.
Tomorrow night, Let's Be Buds. We've got Basement Autoflowers coming in. Should be a fucking hilarious show. Yeah, he's a character.
That should be good. It should be real good. I because of you, like I was following him, but like I never really noticed the posts. And then when I started seeing his name, I was like, oh, wait a minute. And I was like, oh shit, this dude's fucking funny.
Oh God. Yeah.
Totally.
He's a comedian.
All right.
Yeah, it really
Looking forward to it.
engages.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Check that out tomorrow night. Let's be buds. And with that, we're out of here.
Have a
Okay.
good night, guys.
Love ya.
Bye, everybody.